Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, class swing traders. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Yesterday we had a little bit of a chop day inside relative candle. Not that much of a breakout till the end of the day. Then the bulls kind of stepped in a little bit. So it was good to see a little bit of movement a little bit later on. But I mean, if we go to this 3-minute chart from yesterday, it was a very slow grind. So I'm hoping we get some volatility to step in today. We did have some consumer sentiment numbers come out. They came in a little bit lighter than what we were thinking. So the market so far, it's kind of hanging out still. We do have good support areas, probably 449.88, somewhere in that zone. Then we got a decent resistance building. So we are going to have to get, I mean, right now it's very close, but we have pre-market 450.53 is where I would expect some resistance. And then the slightly bigger one, about 450.64. So we do have two areas of resistance that's kind of building above us. With pre-market, we do have a little bit of lower highs. It looks like we had a nice relative uptrend yesterday that did break. This could be some kind of a retest, but I kind of think we lean a little bit to the direction of some chop out of the gate again today. So we'll have to see, but we don't have to see. We got a whole bunch of superstars in the house. Good morning to CJ. Good morning to Albert, Alex, Amy. We got Andy in the house, Brian, Christopher. Good morning to D. My girl Gina's in the house. Greg Gilbert. Good morning to Hector, JT, Justin. Good morning to you. We got Lauren, Lou, Remco, Rick, Ron, Stephanie, Tony, Wally. Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. We got Jennifer, we got Scott, we got Redo, we got Daniel. By the way, for especially for the people on YouTube, just so you guys know, we do have free week. I believe it's coming up next week. You guys probably just head to reallifetrading.com. They'll confirm the date, make sure I'm not lying, but we do have free week. So usually I'm live on YouTube for the first 30 minutes of the morning, and then we unfortunately have to disconnect. But next week you guys are able to sign up, hang out, trade with us all day. So just a little bit of some FYI information there as well. Justin's got free week is this is why I love Justin, because I don't know the dates of anything. It's just one continuous day for me. But so Justin is saying free week July 31st to August 4th. So that is coming out there. Let's see, is that next week or week after? Probably week after. So 2 weeks. But I believe you guys are able to sign up for that now if you want to. And you could hang out and trade with us all day. Let's take a look real quick at the Qs. So the Qs yesterday, pretty decent close. Nothing too crazy. Why can't I just for dividends, why can't I move this like I normally could? I'm missing something. I feel like at the bottom, it's usually the extended hours. Get the word out. Usually I have I can move this thing up and down. For some reason today I can't, and I think usually those buttons are right at the bottom. So I don't know if TradingView changed something, move the button around, or I just can't find it today. But either way, all right. So we do have the Qs, pretty decent, strong day. We are above. Oh, now I can move it. That's wild. I don't know. We did close above the VPOC yesterday, so that's decent. The bull trend still continues. A little bit of a pullback makes sense. Again, the Qs now has 2 VPOCs below us that I think could hold as some type of support. So if we could get a little bit of a pullback into probably this 381.13, maybe we come down a little bit further, 380.70. Those are the 2 spots that I'm going to be watching very closely. If they start to break and we start to hold, then this could look a little bit more like a trap from yesterday. It was a little tiny wick up there. We're definitely overextended, probably have to pull back. But for right now, I think the trend still continues bullish. So I'm going to be looking to see if we can get that little pullback early in the morning and then just try to run that bullish for now. Move the price line first. Yeah, I did that. I don't think I ever had to do that before. I don't know. That's new to me. But if you guys got some stocks and some tickers, put them into the chat. We could definitely take a look. I see Scott wants to take a look at UNH. UNH has been struggling lately. Everything healthcare a little bit, but we did have two nice breakouts, or one nice breakout, a little continuation yesterday. This one to me looks a little bit more retest gap. Could run a little bit higher, but you are at some resistance. So I'd be watching if you could get to 491.53. That's probably where you get a little bit of a pullback. So some kind of nice early morning break would be decent. Everything again, healthcare has been probably one of the weaker sectors so far. Does that mean there could be a catch-up trade? Probably. It looks, I mean, not the prettiest head and shoulders I've ever seen, but it does have a little head and shoulder feel to it. Did we come down enough on this one? It's been relatively steady in a bullish direction. This looks like some kind of consolidation. You do have a decent double bottom that came in, and I do like that gap a lot. So the gap from 2 days ago, I guess that's Friday. Pretty sweet gap. Should be trapping decent amount of people. Good volume came on both those days. I think before this one wants to continue higher, this is probably a fade. So we'll see on that one. We got that pretty high on the list. Take a look at Schwab. I saw Schwab somewhere, didn't I? Somebody requested Schwab, right? I'm going crazy. I don't know. Let's see. We'll take a look. I thought I saw it in the chat. Schwab looks parabolic. May not be a bad short, although bullish overall trend. So everything regional, I think they just had earnings on Schwab. They did. So they had a little surprise beat on revenue, surprise beat on earnings per share. I don't know. I think from all of the, I'm not really bullish or bearish on Schwab, really any of the banks. I think there's a still better plays with tech, even with energy sector. I think the banks are a little bit of a struggle bus. Does that mean they're going to stay down here forever? No, we do have a nice little gap up on the earnings. I believe this is also a gap and go. Kind of. This is a retest gap, but again, that big bearish engulfing candle is the one that probably traps a little more people. So it's decent. I don't know if these are going to be like high flying stocks. I think probably the bottom is in for a lot of the financials. So if you do want to own any of the financials, I think you can still get some decent risk reward on a lot of these things. I mean, Schwab was sitting at, if we get back there closer to $80, that's a decent move higher. They do pay dividends, or at least did pay dividends. I don't know if they still do. They cut it. It looks like they still do. So there's some reasons to like them. I don't think they're going under like FRC and some of the other banks. I think we probably hit the bottom on it, and I think we are sitting a little bit safe. Does that make it exciting though? No, probably not. I think it's gonna be a slow grind. On a day trade basis, you do have one little moving averages coming in that could hold you back. Technically, we had a very small up day on Schwab yesterday, so this would be a little bit of a retest gap. We do have a little volume over here too. I don't necessarily think we have to short it, but to the long side, I think we get a little held up too. So I'm a little concerned about how far this can move, but Schwab looks, I think the bottom is not just for Schwab, but for a lot of them. JP Morgan, I think, is still one of the outliers. So this is still one of the stronger banks. This one's making continuous breakouts, continuous pushes higher. This one is up a little bit more. You probably get a little more room on JP Morgan for day trade purpose too. I think JP Morgan will be a little bit of a better mover today as well. So price target, at least into the near future. I don't know about today, but 157.52. We have one little spot of resistance somewhere here around this 153.97. So a little bit to the higher side before we get that break, and then we probably get some continuation. But I think JP Morgan is one of the stronger banks. If I was to own any of them, that's the one I would probably go to. I don't mind Schwab as well, though, but I think it's going to be, if you're adding it to a longer term portfolio, it's going to be for kind of safety and just sitting there. And even T-bills are still getting 5.2, 5.3% on. So I don't see why I have the extra risk for banks. For me, I don't know. I think still a lot of tech is better. I have to every day chart freezes up. Yeah, well, my computer just restarted out of nowhere yesterday, so I don't know. Maybe that had to do with the not being able to move the charts. We got Roblox, looks okay. I wish we got out of that little resistance zone. Probably looking for 45.68 into 46.32. Again, a retest with a little bit of resistance. Does look like a pretty healthy breakout. Let's see if that resistance holds up first. Let's get Roblox higher. I do want Roblox to sell off, get a little profit taking at that resistance. We have a couple of wicks up here as well. So we got rejected there twice before. Maybe this is the third on a retest day. So we can start looking maybe around 44.60. If we get down there, I think that'd be a good spot to see if we get some more continued breakout. Longer term picture does look a little bit inverse head and shoulders. There's a double bottom from over here. There's your left shoulder. There's the head. There's the right shoulder. Your neckline is probably sitting. This was probably a break of the neckline on this day. So that's the break. That's the retest. Yeah, I'd be willing to buy Roblox on a pullback. I like it for a day trade. AMZN. Amazon looks like a decent short. We're going to have a 10 EMA coming in somewhere around 131.38. So that would be, you probably get about $1 out of this one. And it could come a little bit lower, especially if the market does want to give anything back today. But that's 130.81, I think, is my final target on Amazon. But this would also be a retest gap. So let's see if we can get Amazon a little bit higher, see if it could be met with a little resistance. And then we probably try to take it to the downside. Pins. Pin interest. That was a firecracker when we traded it, huh? straight mover. It is gapping up pretty decent. Breakout. Was this earnings? Is this news? Doesn't look like earnings. So news didn't even load. All right, so Pinterest got a price target upgrade to 35 from 32, and they keep an overweight rating. Let me see if so according to their price target, you still got about $5. We're out of all the resistance, though. Yeah, I got to keep this one on the list, too. Thanks a lot, Lauren. Thanks a lot. Now I have to watch pins all day. Again. First it was Roku. Now it's pins. Yeah, but we'll see. It is a nice break. I've no problem trying it again. Today's my last day on pins. Today's my last day. If pins doesn't work today, we can't get a good mover. I'm just done. But we still made something on pins, so it wasn't bad. All right, we got Datadog. Pre-market seems like it's kind of jumping all over the place right now. My guess is a little bit spready. Nice little breakout. Let me see where resistance comes in. Datadog looks fairly interesting. Longer term, probably looking at 132. Plenty of room to the higher side on this one, too. This would be a good candidate for give me a pullback at open, and I think it has some decent room to run. So, yeah, we should have all of that volume now as support. there's not a lot happening in here. I would look for more continuation. At open though, we are probably into a little bit of resistance as well. Some kind of chop up here to about 115. We could still probably make a decent trade off that though. I like that, a dog. All right. We'll watch that one. And we do have to be careful in the spread. I think Datadog, if I remember correctly, is a little bit more spready. Right now it's 40 cents. And that's what the market closed. So maybe that could tighten up a little bit. But from what I remember, it does have a decent spread to it. It's got a ton of room on it. So that I like. Let's see if we get a pullback there first. Gertlene's in the house. Kremlins. Hector doesn't want to do pins again. I don't know. CJ says I won't learn about pins. We made money on pins. I mean, yes, we sat there all day to make like 8 cents. It's about the journey sometimes. It's about the journey, CJ. It's not about the destination. All right, Palantir does have a good little breakout continuation. There's definitely some strength. This is going to be a huge retest gap. I think it does have. I even saw this one trending, I think, on StockTwits today too. So I think there's going to be a lot of people watching Palantir. But that is a good gap up. I really like the candle that we put in yesterday on this thing. Nice close. Again, let's see if we get that retest in here first, and it might come back. It might retest. It might not bounce from there today, but then I would look for continuation probably tomorrow if it doesn't. Otherwise, any type of candle, we still have some volume starting to come into this area. So this is going to be a heavy liquidity area. Obviously, we sold straight from here. This is probably where we start getting a little bit of resistance, I would think. But if we get that pullback and then we can somehow make it to about 1830, that's a really, really good trade too. So I like it. And then again, this is a small little volume area. After that breaks, the next spot, probably about $20.76. And then we could even see back to the $22 range, but it has been trending very well. It's got good. It already pulled back on a decent, healthy dip. That got bought up. We're closing higher. So yeah, look for continuation. Probably not going to be the first one to get in that one bullish until it wants to give me some type of retest. But we'll get this one much higher on the list for now. CRM, I think we hit the swing trade target. I saw Jeremy post yesterday. So good job, team, on that one. Salesforce, a little bit of. This is another one where if we go bearish, we're going to go against the trends. That was a good breakout. Very nice gap on this day. Good follow through. If we play this one counter trend, I think our targets have to be 223.62. That should make for a decent bounce spot. I can't really play this one bullish because it is gapping down a little bit. Also a little bit of a retest gap too. So if this one could get me that green candle, we should have some room on a day trade, although it's going to be probably a little choppy. But that would be my target, 223.62 on Salesforce if we take it the other way. Otherwise, that should be a decent bounce spot for Salesforce, and we look to run it up. Green is green. Yeah, but I get you guys. Don't worry. I feel the pain on the pinch trade. I love a good trade that doesn't do anything. All right. VZ, complete breakdown disaster yesterday. Lots of volume. People starting to throw the towel in on, I think, mostly anything communications. Does that mean there's not going to be an opportunity in the future? Probably does, but I mean, cell phones are coming down in price as far as like bills go. Internet is becoming a little bit cheaper. I don't know where these guys go from here. It wasn't just Verizon. I think T-Mobile or AT&T. They also broke down. So it was almost a sector individually that kind of broke. So we are gapping up about 10 cents on AT&T. I don't know where these sell-offs end, but I would like it extremely cheap if I was to get into it. Extremely cheap. Let's take a look at VZ again. I think we could get some continuation in a longer term picture to the downside. If not, then if we start to break this would be capitulation. So if we start just absolutely tearing bears faces off and we start getting closes above 33.68, especially if it happens today, tomorrow, with that volume, that would be tremendous capitulation, and I could put them back on the table for a bullish move. Until that happens, it does look like it just died. It died. We'll see. CRM we did take a look at. Let's take a look at Mongo database. That one could be interesting. We do have some volume ahead of us, plenty of room into it. I like that gap location. Technically a retest. I don't know if we get a full-on retest on this one. That's a really good gap. Might be one of my favorites for the day. Should have a decent amount of room on this one. I have to see some kind of red candle in this one. I don't think it's a full-on retest. So I don't think we get down to 410.80. If we do, that would be quite the location. If we could get down, I think, to 413.75, that would be a very interesting spot as well. And then we do have a lot of room. We're still kind of playing off this one little gap, trapping any bears that came in. Absolutely crushing through. Look, all that volume underneath us. This is a small little move, even in a longer term basis. I wonder if Mongo database is one of the ones getting rebalanced. If they're putting this higher. That could be the case, but that looks like a good gap. It's very spready. Yep. It is going to be a little more spready. That would be my downside. I think Datadog 2 is spready. Honestly, Pins is the one today. Pins is the one. So be prepared to sit after getting into a trade forever. But that looks decent. CRM, again, that's going to be probably more about bearish play. UNH would have to probably retest first. Roblox and Palantir look decent as well. So we'll see. Let's see if we have anything else. TDoc and Baba. Teladoc with a nice little gap too. That is a pretty good gap. This is going to be our resistance area up here. Resistance here. I love the fact that we're above all the moving averages. This is probably where any bears in this thing will be getting trapped. See if this one pulls back a little bit and then take the break. But this at least Teladoc, I think, would be one to put on the charts for the next few days. Whether we could day trade it, swing trade it, something like that. Yeah, Teladoc is it's back on the list. It took a while to get us here. Yeah, that looks pretty phenomenal. I don't like this one little area, so I do want some kind of pullback on this one first. Let's see if we get retest anywhere today. If we do, that could be a lot of fun. We got Baba. Baba, a little bit of a gap down. Again, I'm not too concerned with the gaps on Baba just because it does gap almost every day. Being that it's a ADR. We do have a little bit of support down here. I probably would personally stay away from it. So this one is in terms of a day trade for today. We are still inside day candle from yesterday. and we have a decent support. So if this one, I'll put some kind of alert on. If this one starts to break the lows of yesterday, somewhere around this 91.05, then you do have a decent amount of room. You're gonna have some moving averages maybe coming in, and even the short end of that could get a little tricky. But there's not really any other area probably down till, I guess, like 87.33. So we'll have to see on that one. But yeah, Baba is still inside day. I think there could be some better opportunities. And I want to put too much weight on the gap itself, because the gap, it's not like a huge major one, and it does gap a lot. ON. Can this one get some more continuation as well? Maybe. We are into, again, just a little support on this one, or little resistance. Probably immediate target 36.13. That would still give us about 80 cents ish. And then if that one breaks, we're probably looking at 38. So our trade would be if we think this thing could get to 38.68. That's where we'll have decent risk reward. Okay, we'll slide it up on the list. Seladoc. Riot. Nope, that's not how you spell any of that. Riot. Pulling back a little bit. We're gonna have some moving averages coming in. I think we have to go fibs on this. After that kind of move, that breakout. And again, we're still relatively in that last breakout candle still. So that hasn't really broke down yet. Getting close to it. We're sitting at the 23% pullback, so go long doesn't make as much sense risk reward wise. But if it starts to break 1801, we probably come down into this 38% retracement before our first little bounce. And then longer term, maybe we get to like 15 or back even to 1370, depending on what crypto wants to do. But I have seen crypto pull back a little bit already. At least I think Bitcoin has, maybe Ethereum as well. But that would be your play. Anything under 18 would look decent for maybe about a $1.70 move from there. Let me check out Mara while we're on it. Same type thing. It's already run a lot. If you like these things, yeah, you could probably still get into them in the longer term. Personally, I think this is more squeeze than anything. And I don't think we have good risk reward on this one as well. But what I do know is we only got 26 seconds left. So let me flip this over to TOS. Let me get some of the stocks that we were looking for on the list. Because we have just about opened the markets. We got T-Doc. I'm going to go up here. Unfortunately, we got Baba database. MDB. All right, Palantir is getting a nice little red candle. Meta is going pretty crazy. DDOG. Again, that one's going to be spready. I'm going to move let's ON, and then we'll put pins on my other screen. But that was the opening bell. So everybody out there in YouTube land, keep in mind we do have free week coming up. Up until that point, we have all of the free education, all the classes right on reallifetrading.com. If you guys have not already done so, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and share buttons. And it just makes me happy when you do. So otherwise, be safe out there today. I don't think there's a lot more news coming out, but I think Wednesday we got a heavy day for earnings. A lot of the big guys are reporting, Tesla being one of them as well, I believe. So we'll see. We got some volatility to come into this market, and